Thank you so much, Austin. Now to our most crowded category of the night, that is track and field, and first women's track and field, and Miss Alexis Love. Alexis was named the OVC Female Track and Field Athlete of the Year in 2012 and Athlete of the OVC Championship, and earned status as a three-time All-American. However, the big takeaway from this big showing in 2012 was that her times in the 100-meter and 200-meter qualified for the Olympic standard, which opened her up to an entirely different opportunity. Love's next stop was at the USA Olympic Trials in Eugene, Oregon, where she was one of only 5 athletes in the semifinals that were still in school against 13 runners that were already professionals. Love made it to the semifinals in each event before bowing out. She was close as anyone in Murray State history to becoming the first racer to qualify for the Olympics for Team USA. Love carved out a career as one of the top professional sprinters in the country and is now retired from competition. She shines as bright today as she did as a racer from 2009 to 2013. Once again, Miss Alexis Love. And let's also give a big round of applause to Alexis' inductor tonight. It is her father, Mr. Anthony Love.
Well, I came all the way from short sleeve, sweating Florida weather to this. And believe it or not, I never see snow this close as I have today. I tell you, I've watched Alexis from a little kid and followed around from track to track, even starting out running on grass with no shoes. Through grade school, high school, even college, and before choosing Murray State, she got quite a few offers, and it's like, Dad, Murray State is giving me the best offer, but I'm not sure if I want to go there. I said, well, what do you know about it? It's up north somewhere. And being from Florida, north is not the place to be. And she's afraid as she didn't know anybody, away from home for the first time. And I said, just go. We'll make it work. And believe it or not, she called me every day until she graduated. So, without further ado, she told me to keep it short. First of all, I'd like to thank God for this opportunity today, which is truly a blessing. And it's an honor and a privilege to be chosen to present this award to Alexis, known as Baby Girl, and she plays that role very well. She has been through some trying times growing up with family issues, going away to college in a strange place without knowing anyone, to moving, how many times? At least a half a dozen or more times, and testing her faith, confidence, mental stability, and loneliness. But through it all, she always persevered with a little bit of prodding from everybody. And she's become the daughter, child of God, friend, sibling, student, athlete, leader, motivational speaker, and author, and all-around loving person that so many have grown to know. I never let her give up, and always got her to see that it would be all right. And to set her sights not to reach for the stars, but beyond the stars. Thank you.
Story. Dave told us to keep it around 5 minutes. Austin looks at me and says, the author. So, athlete to athlete, I'm going to keep it around 5 minutes. First, I would like to thank God for this opportunity. Without him, I would not be here today. You are literally looking at someone who is standing here as a true testament of faith in the flesh. It was God who used track and field to teach me hard work, dedication, sacrifice, commitment. From then to now, I went from being little Alexis to being big Alexis. I went from wanting to live a dream to actually living out my reality. And I know that I could not have made it this far without the support of so many coaches, mentors, teammates. Wow. And just the support of my family. You guys are my biggest support system. And so, I would like to thank the following individuals. My very first track coach, Coach Tanya McKinney. When I was 12 years old, I tried out for the Manatee Mustangs. I thought it was a tryout, and then it ended up being my long-term career. She also taught me my first verse, Philippians 4:13, and that's, I can do all things through Christ. And right after she taught me that verse, I went out there and forgot to tie my shoe because I was so nervous. But let me add, I won that race with one shoe on when I was 12 years old. I would also like to thank Coach Raymond Woody from Palmetto High School. I remember going into his office and I said, Coach, I think I want to attend Murray State. And he looked at me, the same look that everyone else gave me, like, you have a whole shoebox full of letters, like, why Murray State? But then he also looked at me and said, you can be a big fish in a small sea. And I literally took that, and I'm like, okay, I can do this. I can make a name for myself coming from a small town in Palmetto, Florida. I would also like to thank my high school track coaches, Coach Rod Martin. They will not, when I say you, they will not allow me to give up. I remember walking out of the fence, and I have exercise-induced asthma. I'm like, Coach, I don't think this is for me. I'm done. He said, Alexis, if you walk out of that gate, do not come back. And I knew at that moment that track was going to be a part of my life forever. I couldn't do it. He also said to me, Alexis, you have a God-given talent. I just want to let you know, Coach Martin, you were right. And also Coach Kelly. I want to thank the churches who have played a major impact in my life, who've been there, and they're a part of my faith. Shining Light Church of God of Christ, Hope International, Bates Memorial, and my current church, Houston, Texas, or Lakewood Church in Houston, Texas. And now, to the university that talked me into committing here by telling me that it did not snow in Murray, Kentucky. Okay, let's just make that clear for the record. It does snow, y'all. It snows here. And that is one of my most favorite memories. I remember I was a freshman here, and I looked outside the window. I was staying in New Richmond Hall. And I'm like, what is that white flurry stuff? I got this Floridian girl out here, and my roommate says, that's snow. I'm like, okay, cool. What that means? Practice is canceled, classes are canceled. She said, no, girl, that's normal. You should have seen the look on my face. I said, I cannot believe they got me to commit here and told me that it did not snow. Y'all, and my fellow track, you know, my track people, I was out there bundled up, scarf, hoodie. We have pictures to show. I am outside with sweatpants on, just overdressed every day. But I would also like to thank Murray State for this opportunity. You gave me a chance. Everyone, they didn't understand it back then, but now it makes sense. The girls were so welcoming. When I first got here, they called me their little sister. So I would like to thank you all. Thank you also to Matt Kelly. Matt Kelly played a major role in this whole thing. I remember when I was in transition from switching from one coach to the next. And I said, Matt Kelly, if this doesn't work out, I'm leaving. That's it. If you don't find a good coach, I'm going back to Florida. And he said, Alexis, trust me. I said, okay. All right, Matt, I'll give you some time. And that's when I met Coach Jenny. Coach Jenny, you were hard on me, very hard, but it was worth it. You taught me how to be a leader, how to be a captain, and you also taught me how have a love-hate relationship with the 4x4 relay, and I have never met another coach, a cross-country coach, who runs across the football field to get split times in between the 4x4. You are one dedicated coach. So Coach Jenny, thank you for pushing me. Even when I wanted to back out, you always made me anchor the 4x4 relay. And next, Coach K, Coach Giesler. When I met you, I was considering transferring to a different university. You were the new coach, and I said to myself, if this does not work out, I'm leaving. During our first meeting, we sat in the locker room when you asked me what my goals were. You did it every year. And I said, Coach K, I want them to know me. And you said, what do you mean? I said, the coaches, the athletes, everywhere we go, when we step foot on the track, I want them to know my name. Coach K, that was in 2010, 2011, 2012. They knew me. And when I say they, I'm talking about the world. You understood me. You pushed me when I had a 17-hour schedule. You met me in the morning, even if I was the only one out there on the track. But that one time I was late to practice, you also made me do bear crawls across the football field. And yes, y'all, it's exactly what it sounds like. It was snowing outside and we were doing bear crawls across the football field. Also, I am afraid of heights. Coach K. Those stadium runs to the top of the stadium, that was one thing. But then when you added the weight vest and you wanted me to skip a step, that's another thing. Okay, and I thought to myself, this coach is trying to kill me. He's really trying to kill me. But Coach K, thank you for those stadium runs. Thank you for just pushing me every day. You always knew. You knew that I could do it. You believed in me, and I could tell. And the way that I could tell is that during every race, you didn't try to coach me right before the race. You would look at me, we would do some type of head nod or fist pump, and that lets me know that you believed in me. You knew that I had that race, so thank you, Coach K. I also would like to thank the people who opened their homes to me as a stranger while I was competing on the professional level. It had to be God. They literally opened their door and they said, Alexis, while you're training for the next Olympics, this is what we're going to do for you. Trish and Jim DeGroot, thank you. Larry and Nita Jackson, thank you so much for inviting me into your homes. And to my family, you all have always been there. You showed me that love and support comes from different forms, and I want you all to know that before every race, I thought of you. And it was hard. It was hard moving away. It was very hard. But I hope that you all know that on today that it was worth it. For 4 years, I did not hang a single picture in my dorm room for that reason. It was so hard for me to move away, but it was well worth it. To my sisters and my brothers, you are my soldiers. You're my everything. You always believed in me. You're my best friends, Cardinia, Courtney, Kiana, Anthony, Ashley, and Angela. There were 2 people that I would text before each race. It was my dad and my brother. Bro, you always knew what to say. You always knew what to say. You gave me that confidence and that push that I needed. You inspired me, and I want you to know that. To my nieces and nephews, you are my why. You're my reason why. And I told you all that I would say your name on the stage, so here you go. Courtney, Davisha, Leilani, Jaden, Amir, Jordan, Aubrey, Clinton, Courtney Jr., Fallon, and Lorenzo. And I also would like to give a special thanks to my grandmother for taking me in and raising me to be the godly, bold, victorious, strong woman that I am today. Grandma, I love you so much. And your girl is in the Hall of Fame now. That's that southern part coming out. And Mom, I love you. I love you, and I want you to know that you being present in my life today is the loudest cheer that I'll always remember. You said you're my biggest fan, and I believe you, because you're always loud. And thank you so much for bringing me into this world. You call me your miracle baby, your track star. You literally took that chance of having me at the potential expense of losing your life, and I will always appreciate you and love you for that. My dad, my best friend, you were always there, always. When I was a little girl, I would look in the stands to see if you were there, and you were. I remember you telling me to take can't out of my vocabulary, and I did. I remember telling you how afraid I was because I was skinny. The other girls were bigger than me, and you told me, do not worry about that, Lexus, just go out there and run. You never gave up on me, and you supported me, Dad. And I just want you to know today that your hard work, your sacrifice, your time, your funds was not in vain. From then to now, that's the title of the book you told me you wanted to write. Dad, I want you to know that this is the perfect ending to a new beginning for us. And to God, I never knew why things happened to me growing up in my childhood, but it worked out for me in the end. The way you work things out, you're a mathematician. You worked it out for my good. You used it in such a way that no one else could have. And in closing, Murray State University, I will always remember this moment, this opportunity to be in the Hall of Fame. This is such an honor to be inducted two weeks after I retired from the sport. I retired in May, the end of May, and I get a call 2 weeks later in June. Perfect timing. I had no idea. Standing on this stage today, they asked earlier during the interview, they said, how do you feel? Surreal. That's the same response I gave during the 2012 Olympic trials. Murray State University, I appreciate you. I love you all for what you did for me. Your girl is now in the Hall of Fame. Go Racers!